are back with another round of stupid shit gym owners say. Because I love gym owners, and y'all say a lot of stupid. Today, I'm gonna shine a light on some of the silliest things that I sometimes hear, and I say all of this with lure. My name is Mark Fisher from Business for Unicorns. If you like this kind of content, then you will probably want to follow us over on the Business for Unicorns Instagram. It'll be one more way to sneak in some fitness business snacks throughout your day while you're scrolling through the Instagram and Mark Zuckerberg is trying to sell you shit. Now, before we dig in here today, I want to once again, as I did with the previous video, which if you have not checked out, I highly recommend, the original Stupid Shit Gym Owners Say video, which is to say this is a snarky title. And I really want to say with so much love, listen, I've said a lot of these things, right? So this is not me trying to shame you at all, but I do want to highlight if these are things that feel resonant with you, I would love to have the opportunity to take a swing in what I think to be limiting beliefs. And I want to give a shout out to my brother, Unicorn Society superhero James Pratt, because he actually was the one that saw the first video and sent this in. He said, here are some other things that sometimes people say. Number one, I can't charge that much, / my members will never pay that much if I raise my prices. Well, okay, I guess it depends on what you're charging, but in my experience, in most markets, the vast majority of gym owners massively undercharge for the value of the services they offer. And it is true, if you don't have any kind of sales process in place or anything to qualify your leads, people are gonna buy on price and you'll have a relatively lower conversion. And I'll even concede, listen, price elasticity is a thing, which is to say that you can't charge $5,000 per month for group classes and expect people to pay for it. However, in my experience, most people are a little bit of a nervous Nelly. They're a little afraid about charging the rates that they're actually worth. And if you need some help here, you can actually go in the description box below and download the Business for Unicorns Raise Your Rates Playbook, which is gonna show you a step-by-step system, including copy-pastable templates for the actual communications for you to raise your rates and charge what you're worth. You can charge more, I promise. Number two, my staff won't follow the SOPs. Well, I think your staff will follow the SOPs. If they won't, well, first of all, that's kind of on you, right? Because certainly that is your opportunity to let them go. Hopefully, I've also filmed a video on this. You can click the description box below to get my playbook for how to elegantly and with kindness and grace let someone go from your team. So if they are actually obstinate, they will not follow the SOPs. This is a casting issue. You've cast the wrong actor for the lead role in the play. More often than not, the issue, however, is not that they're completely unwilling. The issue is that we haven't really done a good job making clear what the SOP is and exactly what we want them to do. Number three, I have to do it myself because I can't afford anyone. Which I'll pair with number four, I have to do it myself because nobody can do it as good as me. So I want to pair these together because these are two limiting beliefs, I think, that help gym owners justify why they can't get help. And a lot of gym owners can get stuck in a real rut because they're working too many hours, they don't have any time to work on the business. Now, if you think I can't hire someone because I do not have the money, well, listen, sometimes that actually might be the case. And I don't have an easy solve for here. As I've spoken about many times on this YouTube channel, there is sometimes a chasm between where you are and where you want to be that requires you really burn the midnight oil, work an extra hours, be willing to see your income dip a little bit if need be to get help to free up space to really grow the business. I just want to highlight that a lot of gym owners hold on longer than they should, in part because this second piece is also in the equation. And all of these excuses are just going to prevent you from having the real freedom that my hope is. Part of why you opened up the gym, part of what we're optimizing for is freedom. It's like Braveheart. Freedom!
They'll never take our freedom!
Number five, I can't get results from my clients without fill in the blank of popular training modality. So it is likely as a gym owner, you have some strong opinions, a lot of passion, and frankly, a lot of character and integrity about high quality training experiences you want to create from your clients. So I say this to say, I love your fitness nerd. You and me, we're fitness nerds. We're fitness nerd friends. And we don't need to be overly precious in most cases about the elements of training. I just want you to, again, just critically inspect this, because here's the other thing I'll say. I don't mean to brag here, but I'm pals with some very fancy people. I have a number of friend tours that you would recognize and known to be absolute undisputed industry leaders on the science of program design, training. What I notice is there's a trend over one's career to get a little bit less rigid about your absolute requirements of what your version of training perfection is, and begin to dance with reality and say, okay, what is the best possible training experience I can create, but that I can offer in a business model that's actually sustainable? Because if the business model doesn't work, it doesn't matter if you create this perfectly designed individuals program, which by the way, for Gen Pop usually doesn't really matter if you can't keep people around long enough because the business doesn't have any legs to be sustainable. And then finally, this is maybe the stupidest shit that people say. I don't want to bother people and be annoying, so I only follow up with leads once or twice. I send but a single text message or a single email, then I wait and I hope they respond. I don't want to bother them. This is some stupid shit. Understand, particularly if you've made the distinction between a suspect versus a prospect. So I'm not talking about a suspect. I'm not talking about somebody that's signed up for your email newsletter or a contact information given to you by a client. However, if somebody has inquired about your services or they have opted in with their name, phone number, and email into a landing page or a scheduling moment to have a conversation with someone on your team, they've expressed interest. I think it's our job as the coach to follow up with them. And what you'll find is a lot of times when the person does pick up the phone or they do respond to the text, they will thank you. They will say, thank you so much for continuing to follow up with me. You know, I filled out the form the other day and then my kid got sick, so I haven't had time to think about this. So I really appreciate you following up with me. You're gonna hear that more often than not. So exactly how often to follow up, probably some room for debate and ultimately you can decide. But I would say this, the first 7 to 14 days, I think one or more contact, maybe not through the same medium every day, is not unreasonable. Remember, they gave you their contact information. They'll tell you when they don't want you to reach out to them. And of course, when they do, we will politely take them off our email list or do whatever we need. We're not trying to be spammy people. We are trying to be great coaches. And if they've raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing, well, we're gonna reach on out until they tell us otherwise. All right, friends, so I hope you found this more food for thought. I hope you found this matter playful, as I'm not trying to make you eat any delicious shame cakes, but I am hopefully shining light on some maybe not helpful beliefs that I see pretty common among a lot of gym owners I talk with. So thanks as always for watching. You go ahead and click that link below, hit that subscribe button so I never miss the opportunity to share with you more videos where I will offer you more actionable tips, psychological frameworks, and philosophy.